who were there, visited the great Sahabas. Ashar al-Mubashirina bil-Jannah, many of whom are there. In Al-Baqi, we give salams to them. We respect them. We do not desecrate the graves of our believers. This week, Sunday night, in the middle of the night, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., a group of people in the city of Misrata, and we've mentioned Misrata here many times in this khutbah, on this mimbar. We mentioned it when they were being bombed and shelled by the tyrants who were ruling them. We made dua for them. Misrata, and we mentioned then that Misrata is the city of the Qutb of Libya. Sayyidina Sheikh Ahmed al-Zarruq al-Barnusi radiyallahu anhu. This great believer, this great imam, through whose hands hundreds of thousands entered into Islam. At his hands, thousands of ulama graduated from, that benefit this ummah. His maqam is in Misrata. His maqam, his grave is there. His masjid is there. And a group of people calling themselves Salafis. And I don't usually mention names in my khutbah, but I have to mention it today. That I can, at least those of you who are here, if you belong to any Salafi group, get rid of them. Protect your Islam by removing yourself from any involvement in any Salafi group. The worst threat that a Muslim ummah is faced with today is the Salafis. Not the non-Muslims, the Salafis. The worst threat that they are faced with are the Salafis. One of our families on Eid Day, they're probably here. Yes, they're here. They came to me, the mother, the sister, the daughter crying. One of their sons, he just left them a note. I'm gone. Left them a note, left the home. I'm gone. Because he's with these extremist groups. No respect for his parents. This is in Ramadan he did it. On Eid Day, they thought he would come back. At least it's Eid, to be with his parents and his family. No. This is what it does for you. It destroys you. This is the Salafi dawah. It destroys you. It has nothing to do with the Islam of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They went and they destroyed the grave of Sayyidi Sheikh Ahmed al-Zarruq. They brought a bulldozer and they bulldozed the masjid in the middle of the night. This is what they did in Misrata. And then they said that they're going and destroying the other graves of the Sahabas who were buried in Libya. The same thing happened in Somalia. The graves of awliya were destroyed by the same group of people. I want today to tell you that you can be aware of this. You can be aware of this. Enough is enough. If you do not stand up and oppose this group, then they will continue to unleash their un-Islamic behavior on everyone and try to impose it. This is not the way of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is not the way of the Muslims of Libya. Their history, almost 14 centuries of history, is different than that. Libya is a great land of Islam. And I'm sure they will return back to their ways. But this group did this shameful act. And they're continuing to do it. They're doing it in the name of Islam. I say today, a little knowledge can be a dangerous thing. You may think that you're doing what is right, and it's not right. Listen to the scholars of this ummah for 14 centuries. You follow the way of the ulama, the way of the Sunni scholars of this ummah, you'll be well guided. You want to follow Quran and Sunnah? You want to follow Quran and Sunnah? The best way of following Quran and Sunnah is to follow Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Malik, Imam Shafi'i, Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. This is the way to follow Quran and Sunnah. Anyone who tries to follow Quran and Sunnah directly in their own will be misguided and will misguide others. And there's no barakah in what they do. I travel to so many countries. I travel to so many different countries. I visit different communities. I was away the past week since Eid within Canada. Even in Canada and in other countries, the same complaints I receive. This particular group, members of the Salafi group, causing fitna, disunity, problems, conflicts in masjids. I go to the Caribbean, some of the imams, almost tears in their eyes, elder imams, their entire life devoted to Islam. They say these young brothers, they come and they disrespect them. They have no respect for people who taught them their religion, who taught them to read Quran, who taught them to pray when they were young. They grew up, some of them go and study at Islamic University in Medina, and then they come back and they start condemning everything, criticizing everything, and causing hatred and disunity in our community. This is not the way of the Prophet ﷺ. If you have good words to say, if you are guided by Allah and by the Prophet ﷺ, your efforts will lead to goodness. Your efforts will lead to harmony. Your efforts will lead to people living a happy life. It wouldn't bring disunity and fitna and confusion in the Muslim community. This is what a Salafi group is doing. And so I appeal to those of you who belong to the Salafi group, maybe because of your love for Islam. You want to do what is right. You want to follow Quran and Sunnah. Go back to the Sunni way. Leave the Salafi group. Protect yourself from that danger. Go back to the Sunni way. The way of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.